Imagine holding a single quarter dollar from 1976 and realizing that you are not just holding pocket change, but a time capsule of American pride, struggle, celebration, and identity, because this coin was born during one of the most emotionally charged moments in United States history, the 200th birthday of a nation that had survived revolution, civil war, world wars, economic collapse, and cultural upheaval, and decided to celebrate its survival by changing the very money people touched every day. The 1976 Washington Quarter, also known as the Bicentennial Quarter, is not just a redesign, it is a statement, a symbol, and a mass-produced monument that traveled through millions of hands during a year when America stopped to look back at where it came from and ask where it was going. The story begins long before 1976, when the United States was searching for a way to unite a divided country scarred by Vietnam, Watergate, inflation, and social change. And leaders realized that the Bicentennial was more than an anniversary. It was an opportunity to remind Americans of shared roots and values. So Congress authorized special designs for the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coin, something that had never been done before on circulating U.S. coinage, and artists across the country competed to leave their mark on history. The winning quarter design, by Jack L.R., featured a colonial drummer standing strong with a torch of victory, encircled by 13 stars, each one representing the original colonies. And when this design was approved, it immediately connected the modern American citizen to the spirit of 1776 revolution, sacrifice, and determination. Unlike typical commemorative coins, these quarters were made for everyday use, meaning they were struck in enormous numbers at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints and carried into grocery stores, gas stations, arcades, and jukeboxes, making them one of the most widely distributed commemorative coins in world history. What makes this even more fascinating is that, although they are called 1976 quarters, every bicentennial quarter carries the dual date 1776. 1976, forever locking the past and present together on a single piece of metal production, began as early as 1975 and continued through 1976, which means these coins were circulating even before the actual anniversary. Adding to their mystique and reach, the composition of the coin tells another story of its era, with standard circulation strikes made from copper nickel clad, reflecting the move away from silver coinage, while special collector versions were struck in 40% silver at the San Francisco Mint, catering to collectors and investors who wanted something more precious. And these silver versions, especially in proof condition, remain highly desirable today. Condition, rarity, and mint marks play a major role in value, with most circulated examples worth face value, but pristine uncirculated coins, high-grade examples, and silver proofs commanding significantly higher prices, especially when professionally graded and preserved. The drummer boy design itself became iconic, instantly recognizable, and deeply symbolic, representing not generals or presidents, but an ordinary citizen soldier, emphasizing that the American Revolution was fought by everyday people, which resonated strongly during a time when trust in government was low and personal identity mattered more than ever. Beyond its metal and design, the bicentennial quarter became part of popular culture, used in school lessons, saved in drawers, passed down in families, and hoarded by people who believed they might someday be rare. Even though billions were made, and that widespread saving, ironically, ensured their abundance today, yet the emotional value remains powerful, because this coin represents unity during uncertainty, celebration during hardship, and memory during change for collectors. The 1976 quarter is often a gateway coin, the first piece that sparks curiosity about mint marks, errors, silver content, and American history for historians. It represents a rare moment when a nation chose to commemorate itself not with statues or books, but with money for investors. It shows how conditioned scarcity and metal content drive long-term value, and for everyday people, it remains a nostalgic reminder of fireworks, parades, tall ships, and a year when the country paused to celebrate 200 years of independence and resilience. And as you look closer at this quarter dollar, you begin to realize that its true value is not measured in cents or dollars, but in stories. The story of a country remembering its birth, the story of millions of hands carrying history unknowingly, and the story of how even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a nation. And this is why the 1976 quarter dollar is not just a coin, it is a chapter of America. itself waiting to be explored, remembered, and passed on.